Welcome to another episode of Unbiased Review, and in this video I'm going to talk about some pros and some cons, that is some strength and some weaknesses of Tata Tiago Optional variant, which is a very popular variant since it's very similar to the XT variant. Moreover, the XT and XT Optional variants are the most value for money variants, and hence it is important to understand what are the strengths and weaknesses associated with this variant of Tata Tiago. So let's begin. The first biggest strength is the engine. So as you all know that Tata provides this 1.2 liter engine even in Tata Punch, that is quite big compared to the Tiago, size wise and weight wise as well. So the engine here is very peppy. The reason being is the weight to power ratio. So in this Tata Tiago, you will never go out of power. So you will always have adequate power to and you will feel very enthusiastic to drive this engine. It's 86 PS power and 130 Newton meter of peak torque will provide you with adequate power that is needed by the small hatchback. The second best thing that is there is this steering. Okay, and the steering is very light, and you can basically in one finger you can move this steering. So this is as light as that. So this gives you very high flexibility when it comes to negotiating in short turn, short bends, or negotiating in stiff traffic conditions or in very tight parking conditions. So this light steering is definitely the second positive point that goes in favor of Tata Tiago Optional variant. Together with the steering wheel, the 4.9 meter of turning radius is extremely helpful when you are negotiating or trying to park your car in a very narrow space. The next best thing about this car is its ground clearance. It's around 170 millimeter of ground clearance, which is great for a hatchback of this size. And I have ran it almost in all type of terrain, and I have not faced any problem. In fact, you may have seen lots of video that people taking Tata Tiago to such pass and other difficult terrain, it clears those hurdles without any sorts of problem. It's a 14-inch steel wheel that you get with this car, but the tire is of a high profile. So it's 175/65 R14. So it's a high profile tire. You can of course upgrade it to higher tires like 185/65 also, but this is quite adequate. That the tire is well complemented by the very good suspension that this car has got, and means I can tell you for sure that this will satisfy you in terms of the riding comfort, and it can compete with two level higher cars also in terms of the riding comfort. So you can easily glide through bad roads. If it is a very big pothole, that is a different story altogether, but normal bad roads you will not feel at all. You will not feel very bumpy if you are maintaining a proper tire pressure. The car provides a very powerful air conditioning system which is running now in the car. Otherwise I would not have been able to see it because the outside temperature is quite high. Although it's a rainy season, but it's still very high temperature, especially the humidity is very high. So it becomes very, very uncomfortable if you are driving in most of the Indian cities now. So the AC is very powerful, although it's a manual AC, but you will have no complaint at all from this AC, I can assure you that. Next positive thing in my list is of course the light clutch, which complements a smooth gear that this car has got. unlike previous Tata cars where the gear feels very notchy and it has got long throw and all. In Tiago you will not feel that. And when I have driven first time driven Tiago, I was very surprised because I am also having Maruti car with me and I am driving it, and we all know that how smooth the Maruti gearbox is and the clutch is. And I can assure you that the Tata is not very far behind, and the clutch is very light in Tiago, and the gear is also equally efficient. However, the biggest boomer that comes with this car is the GNCAP rating, which gives this car a 4-star rating, which is, I think, first in this kind of hatchback segment. Punch is one segment higher, which is a kind of mini SUV, but this is purely a hatchback, and in hatchback segment I don't think you are going to get any other cars in India which is having a 4-star global NCAP rating. Now let's talk about some weaknesses. Now you will decide that whether you really think those are weaknesses or not, but I think that I should at least highlight it in front of you so that you could take a decision when you are deciding whether to spend your money for in this car. So the first biggest weakness is that this is a 3-cylinder engine. Being a 3-cylinder engine, you can't expect it to be very smooth. So sound will come, vibration will come, but of course it will not disturb you so much. Normally when in its neutral condition, the gear quite vibrates, but as soon as you start the car in first gear, second gear or third gear, you won't get that much of vibration. The vibration comes down. The sound, engine noise do enter the cabin, but if you are having a very good music system, it will not disturb you for sure. So you take a call now whether this is a negative point or not. Next weakness for this car is of course its headlamps. So the headlamp is not very powerful. It's a halogen headlamp and regular reflector type. So that is one of the weaknesses, I would say. The others are like the poor quality of the music system that Tata dealership provides with XT optional variant. This is not at all a good infotainment system, and I would suggest all of you not to buy it from Tata, but rather fit it, get it fitted from some outside good vendor. But be careful that they don't do a lot of experiment with your wearings. There is not much to experiment, but just for a caution I'm telling this. Go for external music system rather than spending 25,000 bucks in getting a music system which will not satisfy you. You also get call receiving facility, and somehow I don't know whether it is a problem in my car, but I'm facing that the call quality is not good, not at all good. So sometimes I use direct phone speaker rather than using the speaker and the microphone that is there in this car. So that is bit unfortunate, instead of the fact that this car provides you all these options, but these options does not work very efficiently. The other weakness is of course the mileage. I am running this car primarily in the city. I have not driven it on the highway yet, except for few small stretches. I'm getting around 11 to 12 kilometer per liter mileage, and I have completed 1 year of running for this car. I have driven approximately 7,500 kilometers, and still it is around 11 to 12. Though it is a 5-seater car, but you will only able to effectively only 4 adults will be effectively able to sit. So let's be honest. So I think this is typically a 4-seater car. If you have a very small kid at your home, they of course can adjust at the back seat, but other than that, it's a four-seater car only. One important thing in this is that this car requires servicing in every 6 months. So unlike many other cars which require servicing once in a year or once in after you complete certain thousand kilometers and all, for this car, I think maybe this is true for other hatchbacks also, you have to get into a servicing every 6 months. But the service cost is not very high. I have done my annual servicing, although it was free. The cost, labor was free, but the material cost was around 2,500 rupees. This car does not provide a very large boot. It has got a 245-liter boot. Loading lip is quite deep, so you have to kind of pull your suitcase and take it out from the boot. So that is one problem. But other than that, if you are having a small family, 3-member family, I think you should not have any problem. You will be able to manage. But if you have 4 or 5 members, definitely this car may you may find difficulty in putting more luggage in this car. So that is one problem. The other problem is that if you are driving on a highway, this car does not provide you with a cruise control. So that is a big drawback, I would say. At least in XT optional variant it does not provide. Of course in the higher variant it probably provides, but not in XT optional variant. Few other cosmetic problems, like this car does not have got any, anywhere in this car you will find any soft touch material. It's all hard touch. Everywhere you touch you will, it's all hard material. Steering is also not covered. There is no handrest. This side of the door is also quite stiff, so you won't find a place to relax your hand or anything like that unless and until you go for some external fitment. Rear headrests are not adjustables, and of course you don't get a rear washer, wiper and defogger in this version. Of course in the higher version you do get all of them. With this we came to a conclusion, and I think although I have explained almost same number of weaknesses vis-a-vis same number of strength, but I think the strengths are much more and have got more weightage compared to the minor weaknesses that this car has got. So overall, if you ask me, I can live with those weaknesses, and some of the weaknesses can be fixed also through aftermarket fitments, and you can be happy with that. But there are no really fundamental problem when it comes to this car, and whenever you drive this car it will make you smile. And I am driving this for last 1 year. I am saying that I am thoroughly impressed by its suspension and ride quality and the power that this car provides. So overall, from my side, I will definitely recommend this car to everyone. For a small family, this is very ideal. With around 6.5 lakhs to 7 lakhs rupees budget, you can make this car yours. So definitely go for that. Get into a test drive and let me know whether you like it or not. Thank you very much. See you soon.